Most people think that the price of silver moves because investors get excited. Well, that's not how this works. You see, silver doesn't move on emotions first, it moves on control of supply. And in January 2026, China made it very clear that it understands this very well. You see, this isn't about jewelry or coins, it's about who controls the pipe. Now, China does not mine most of the world's silver, and that's important for you to understand. You see, silver is primarily mined in countries like Mexico, Peru, Bolivia, Chile, Argentina, and Australia. Latin America, in particular, they produce the largest share of the world's raw silver. So, if China doesn't mine it, how do they control it? Well, through processing, refining, and manufacturing. And that's where their power is. You see, there's a difference between raw silver and usable silver. Silver comes out of the ground as concentrate and it's not ready to be used. So, solar panels, electronics, EV systems, defense components must all be refined. Well, the silver to be used in these must all be refined, purified, and fabricated. And this is where China dominates. Over the last 2 decades, China has built massive refineries. They have advanced silver processing facilities and they have integrated manufacturing chains. So, silver mined in Mexico or Peru often gets shipped to China, gets refined and processed there, and gets embedded into finished products. Then they're exported globally. You see, China doesn't need to own the mine if it controls what happens after extraction. Now, why import restrictions matter so much? Well, understand that when China restricts silver exports, they are not restricting raw rock. They're restricting refined silver, industrial grade silver, and silver that's already embedded into critical components. Now that creates a bottleneck. Other countries may have silver in the ground, but they don't instantly have the refining capacity that China does. So China isn't exactly easily replaced. And building such infrastructure to replace China takes years, billions of dollars, skilled labor, and environmental approvals. So, in the short term, China's position is extremely strong. Now, this is a strategic move. China has used this strategy before, not loudly, not suddenly, but methodically. We saw it when rare earth elements, battery minerals, and processing of critical minerals. We saw it, remember? We saw this last year. Silver is now being treated the same. By restricting exports, China is essentially prioritizing domestic manufacturing and they're protecting their industrial base. This forces foreign buyers to compete for limited supply. This is not just about silver prices. This is not about silver prices going up tomorrow. It's about who gets access first. So, why does demand not go away? Well, here's the uncomfortable truth. It is essential for solar cells, for EV electronics and charging systems, semiconductors and circuit boards, for medical devices, for defense and aerospace systems. These industries cannot substitute silver that easily. So when supply tightens, they don't stop buying, they have to pay more. And that's what creates a durable price floor. One major CEO that has been voicing his concerns and complaints about the prices of silver is Elon Musk. And what does he do? He creates EV vehicles, Tesla. He's also into aerospace. In short term, this creates price spikes, pullbacks, headline driven swings, and markets do try to decide if it's temporary. Will China reverse the course? Is demand slowing? And this volatility is where many people oftentimes get shaken out because they react instead of planning. In the long term, however, something deeper happens. Supply chains reorganize and inventories stay thinner. Silver becomes a strategic input, not just a commodity. Even if other countries expand refining capacity later, this transition period supports higher average prices. Now, that's the quiet part that I don't want you to miss. You see, the biggest mistake that investors make is that they do two things. One, they chase silver after it has already moved, and two, they freeze because they think they've missed it. Both are emotional decisions. Missing the bottom is not fatal, but entering without a framework certainly is. This is not a one trade moment, it's a positioning cycle. What I'm deliberately not doing, I'm not telling you what to buy in this video. Mm-mm. I'm not throwing out tickers, I'm not selling you no hype, because the opportunity here is not about guessing prices, it's about understanding. It's about understanding direct versus indirect exposure, physical versus paper, producers versus users, and defensive versus leverage positioning. That's where the discipline you've been working on comes in. So I've built a silver supply shock playbook because most people see the headlines but not the machinery beneath it. In the playbook, it breaks down how China controls silver without mining it, where global silver actually comes from, how demand behaves under restriction, how to position if silver is no longer cheap, and what signals matter and which ones don't. No hype, no prediction, just structure. This isn't about panic. It's about understanding that the world is moving towards resource control. So, silver just stepped into that category. If you want the full positioning framework, how disciplined investors think through moments like this, then I'll link the playbook for you. But I want you to read it carefully. Because in markets shaped by control, clarity is more valuable than speed. Your clarity is more valuable than your speed.